So here's a question, and it's absolutely perfect for you, Sam, I think. So thanks so much to the listener that timed this really well. They say, I get distracted very easily, I procrastinate, and I find it difficult to get things done. I also get tired very quickly, feeling mentally depleted at work after only a few hours, and the same in social situations. I've been tested for various ailments or conditions, including blood work, ADHD, chronic fatigue, and others, and they've all been negative. Apparently, I'm as healthy as can be, but I don't feel it. I've realised that I wanted there to be a diagnosis to explain why I am the way I am. I have heard that the ADHD brain, for example, is described as just working differently, explaining the behaviours and experience of those with ADHD. But apparently mine works as it so-called should, but I still can't keep up or function in society. Why am I like this? And how can the understanding that you share help me?
Ooh, I
That's a
love it.
great one, isn't
Thank
it?
your listener for submitting that question. If I can unpack that, well, I would ask your listener to look at those experiences as neutral, because it's not that those experiences are a problem. And I have those experiences all the time, but that doesn't mean I get stuck in it. Like, those are, I don't even know, you don't have to call it anything, but like, if I am procrastinating, I need to look deeper. Procrastinating, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything. It's just whatever narrative I'm attaching to procrastination that's causing me suffering, or anxiety or overwhelm, or you could look at all those ADHD manifestations as an opportunity to get really curious about what it's telling you. One, it's telling you you're temporarily looking in the wrong direction. You're up in your head. You're up in the ADHD house of horrors. You have a super brilliant, curious, empathic, loving brain that loves you, doesn't know better. It's going to go and do all kinds of wacky things sometimes. I mean, like, my cell phone does wacky things all the time, but I don't just like throw it against. Well, sometimes I want to throw it against the wall sometimes, but I'm not going to like stop using my mobile phone because it gets stuck and freezes up. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to maybe reset the phone, put it down. Maybe I need to troubleshoot a little bit, but I'm not going to give up on my cell phone. Like, I'm not going to just like give up making calls. I mean, my computer the other day glitched, it froze up, and I couldn't figure. I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you, Siobhan, and sharing this wisdom with your listeners if I gave up my MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro is our brain. It's a supercomputer. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be. All these different manifestations are as an opportunity, like I said before. Doesn't matter why it's happening. Doesn't matter how it's happening. It's an indication that we are just off center for a little bit. But once we get curious about it, we'll put our white lab coat on and ask, is this like the sum total of me in this moment? Am I like present right now? No. As soon as you become aware of it, as soon as you notice the ADHD neural gymnastics, I call it, neural being neurochemical, you get present immediately. That's 100% true. It will always be true. And you can never, ever, ever try to not get present after just noticing it. That happens all the time. Oh, I'm in the ADHD house of horrors right now. I'm in my neural quicksand right now. I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking, whatever term or descriptor you want to use. That'll drop you into the present moment 100% of the time. And when you get curious about what that experience, that psychological experience, that this ADHD experience is really telling you, you spend much less time in the house of horrors. you're still going to go up there. Like I went up there this morning. Freaking, I
Mm.
was in the room of mirrors where everyone looks distorted. That was my, it's like there's the ADHD House of Horrors. They have many rooms in this ADHD House of Horrors, right? And it's not all bad, but I don't. I want to challenge the listener to get curious. I want to. There is no exception to this. You have this experience of distraction or procrastination or overwhelm or ADHD paralysis where we're just stuck in. You ever see the movie? Remember Star Wars, the second one, Empire Strikes Back, where Han Solo is in this like he's frozen in this sheet of like glass, like by Darth Vader, and he's like stuck. And then the next Star Wars after it, I think what's his name, the Jedi Knight, saves him and gets him unfrozen. We do that automatically. But if you sit with that frozen feeling, like we're cryogenically frozen in our thoughts, and you look and get curious, like, what's going on right now? Oh, I'm caught up in my House of Horrors. Bam, you're present 100% of the time. There's no contesting it because I'm testing it too. Because if it was true, Siobhan, if you're in your listener, if I'm talking to you, listener, if that was true, that was the sum total of your experience. Well, I'm living test. I wouldn't be talking to any of y'all. None of you people would be able to leave your room, your apartment. Now, if we think that's true, if we're actually believing that those manifestations actually have some kind of control over us, that there's something to it, you're just going to create more made up ADHD House of Horror rooms. You're going to add an addition to the ADHD House of Horrors.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to add is that, especially with like time management stuff, if she suffers from time management stuff, getting present is also by being accountable of keeping yourself in view of a clock, or having like I have a Seiko clock that has a stopwatch on it. Like if I really feel like I'm drifting into, inattentive thoughts, or I'm caught up in like I'm mind wandering and my attention's drifting, I will keep a clock with a stopwatch or set an alarm that gives me time to mind wander, right? If I'm forgetful because my mind's going so fast, I'll put Post-it notes all around my house as reminders. That's like, but that was coming from my wisdom. I didn't like take a 6-part course on how to manage your ADHD brain. I just, that came to me. So, oh, you know what? That was my wisdom. Oh, I need a reminder. Let me put Post-it notes or I keep a clock by my computer and make sure those alarms go off when I need to do something else. It's that simple. Like, but the other manifestations of the ADHD experience, don't have to handicap your life. Don't have to be like you don't need to suffer in it because it has nothing on you ever. It feels that way for sure. And unfortunately, I can't wave my magic wand to release all of my fellow ADHDers. I'm a member of the ADHD union from that experience because it's going to happen again.
Yeah. I you know what? I love what you're saying here and how you're describing it. Because what I'm really hearing, I would love to hear back from the listener actually, and what they hear in this, because what I'm hearing is in the question, they're like, I'm getting these, and you called them like manifestations of ADHD, which were procrastination, distraction, tiredness, mental depletion. I was like, yeah. Like everyone I work with has that. And then what I heard in the question was, I hope it's ADHD because that will explain it. But actually, all my tests have been negative. So
you call it a ham sandwich, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So that's what I heard in your answer, which was very cool. Which goes back to something we touched on before, which is it doesn't matter It doesn't matter why you are. There is no reason, or if there is a reason, it's none of your business. It doesn't matter maybe why you're just distracted or procrastinating, etc. You asked, why am I like this then? The reason is because you're a human being with a brain, right? And what I'm hearing from you, Sam, which I've loved throughout this whole call, is you don't look there. You don't look to your diagnosis. You don't look to why you are the way you are. You don't look to your ham sandwich label. We're looking at, well, what is this thing that you're focusing on doing? And it's this bunch of thought moving through. But when we're focusing on it, it looks like it's very static. But no, hey, get rid of your labeling and diagnoses and figuring out why you're like that and why this is happening, and look beyond to the movement of life, which I just absolutely adore the way you describe it so vividly.